everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James, and today we are going to be doing a guided meditation, and we'll talk some philosophy, maybe some psychology. Who knows? Who knows what's on the agenda? How's everyone doing tonight? It is 11 p.m. on the dot, Chicago time. I say Chicago time, but it's actually Central time. I don't know why I like to say Chicago time. But yeah, it's 11 o'clock at night, Central time. And it is Tuesday night. Fuck Tuesdays. I hate Tuesdays. I think they suck. I think Tuesdays are the worst day of the week. That's just my opinion. But maybe I'm completely wrong. In fact, every Tuesday that I have a good day, I think Tuesdays are like the best day. So that's not. I guess it's not really a reality when I say Tuesdays are the worst day of the week. But anyways, we're gonna have some fun tonight. I hope you're all ready for some fun, right? That's why we're here. We're here on this earth, right? We want to have some fun. We want to party. We want to meditate. We want to do yoga, right? Those are the things we do here in this realm. My energy's a little weird today, just so you know. I had a really intense. All right. We're gonna take on the zombies, right? The thought experiment zombies. We wanna delve into philosophy of mind and see whether or not human beings are any different than zombies. When he rip us apart to our cores, that's what philosophers like to do. We like to strip down on what human beings are and see if we can see whether we are actually any different than zombies. Whether we have whether there's something about us that makes us a distinct, separate entity, or whether we are just wandering around mindless zombies, right? Hey, Christine the Bean. First of all, by the way, Aristotle is here. Let me give a big shout out to Aristotle. He is an amazing streamer here on Twitch. He is a philosophy streamer, which is cool, right? Because there's not many philosophy streamers that I know of on Twitch, especially ones with PhDs. So definitely check him out. And he doesn't just talk about philosophy either. He's cool. He's into metal. He's into a lot of good stuff, and he can basically talks about anything. Anything that you want to talk about, he'll bring up, or you can bring up, and he'll at least give you some credit, unless it's like just completely ridiculous. Well, even if it's ridiculous, he'll respond usually, so you can talk about anything there. You can talk about anything from bidets to I don't know, to the most deep philosophical concepts around, right? Christine the Bean is here. Hello, Christine the Bean. How are you doing? How's existence going with you today? I hope all is well. Did you get to see your nephews today? What's the deal? Are they home from school? I feel like I'm shouting. Am I talking really loud, or I don't know. I feel like I'm hurting my own ears. It's a problem when you talk so loud that you hurt your own ears. Maybe I'm not. Maybe my perceptions are just off today. Hey, JT Farms is here. My channel shaman or shaman woman, right? How's it going, JT Farms? JT Farms keeps all the bad energy out. She keeps all the good energy in. She's an excellent poet. That's actually how we met. She was posting some poetry, and we did a collab on Facebook, and it was pretty cool. She actually taught me a lot about poetry, and she's just a really awesome human being. And you'll definitely want to be around her as much as you can. Come to my channel. You'll definitely be you'll be happy that you got to spend some time with her. Christine the Bean, you said they had school today. Really? That's kind of interesting. Some of the schools that I teach at, like the ones that I teach at I teach out on Mondays, and the schools that I teach at on Wednesdays and Fridays are all canceled this week. So I'm surprised they had school today on Tuesday. But every school's different. That's just how it goes. Let's see. JT, you say all good here. You doing good? I don't know. I don't know if I am. I mean, I went to a hot hit Pilates class tonight, and it was kind of like, it was a lot for me. Like, I was like, you know what? I have all this energy. I'm going to go use it. And this is like a common theme of me. Like, I don't ever run out of energy, really. So like, but my body will break down if I just use all the energy I have, like working out. So like, I usually just, go and I work out a lot and overdo it, over the course of days and whatnot. And then my body breaks down, and then I'm just kind of like sidelined for a while, right? And then I just, repeat the same pattern over and over, right? And that's just kind of my existence. What did they say? They say like one definition of insanity is doing like the same thing over and over and expecting different results, something like that, right? I don't know if that says anything good about me, but it's at least I'm dedicated, right? I'm dedicated to to staying stuck in certain patterns, right? No, I'm just joking. Like I do try to break out of patterns, you know, the ones that are detrimental to my overall well-being. But yeah, this is, I don't know if this is going to be one of them. Today's this workout thing is just it's kind of like weird. Like I don't know. I mean the things I can do when I have a lot of energy are like, you know, I don't know, like work out. I can meditate. Yoga, qigong, kumne, all those things, right? You know, you can have sex, right? There's a certain amount of things you can do, but eventually, like if you do them all and you still have like a ton of energy, and you can like write, you can like write poetry. It's like, what are you gonna do? I mean, at some point you got to sleep, right? And I'm not in a position to like, drink myself to bed or anything like that. I'm not at that point in my life yet. Some people do that every night. Um, Empirical conclusions require a replicability. Yeah, that's right, Aristotle. That is right. That is right. So maybe, you know what, I as an undergrad, I was a molecular bio and psych major. So like maybe this is my scientific mind coming forward and saying, you know what, I need to really verify these results. I mean, I've been doing this for my whole life, and I'm always yielding the same results. So I'm just never really quite sure, about the conclusion. So I'm just trying to, I want to know for certainty, right? Yeah, but I got obsessed with certainty a while back. You ever read Wittgenstein's? I think it's called On Certainty. I read that a while back. A buddy of mine in grad school recommended it to me, and like I don't know, like you really don't. That's a problem with philosophy. I mean, you don't really. You kind of like you're always left with more questions. You're always left with more questions than you are with answers. But then the idea is that hopefully your questions will get better. And like questions will get more refined. You'll kind of hone in on some kind of truth. But I don't know. Every time I start going down the rabbit hole, the truth rabbit hole, it always turns ugly. So I kind of like stay away from that that epistemological nightmare, of skepticism whenever I can. You don't know if you ever read that. I remember seeing, yeah. I mean, like all the epistemologists are like, hey, read this. Read it. You're gonna like it. You're gonna enjoy it. And then I read it and I'm like, man, I'm just still unsatisfied. I'm just still unsatisfied, and that's like the feeling I've been getting a lot lately. Like I remember when I first started philosophy, I was like so gung ho about it. I was like, finally, I'm gonna understand some shit, and then it's like you start thinking you understand some shit, and then it's like, oh, that's right, I know nothing again, right? And then you start like thinking you start understand some more shit, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, I don't know anything anymore. And that's just is that just how it goes? I mean, it just seems like that's how it goes, and not just in philosophy, but like in a lot of the spiritual pursuits as well. It's like every time you fucking think you know something, you're just like shot down. You gotta like, but then if you think you know nothing, then you're kind of just like fucking spinning your wheels, and you're just like, I don't know, doing what I do, and just like working out, like, and then getting injured and wondering why you do the same thing, over and over and over. Um, I don't know. Christine, you seem to remember reading it. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Let me see if I got it. I should have it like right over here somewhere. Let's see. What do we got? Where is it? Somewhere over here. I don't know. I don't even have my books in order anymore. This is really, all right, I'm pissed. My books are not in order. I don't know where the fuck it's at. I used to have all my books in order. I was like super meticulous at like keeping everything in order. And now I have like one bookshelf here. I got like two bookshelves in my bedroom. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and everything's just kind of like thrown together. It's actually on my to-do list to organize my books. But I just don't do it. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, I'll just do that later. It just never happens. Let's see. Aristotle, you say this is why Epicureans and Cynics didn't think all the theory stuff was as important as some made it out to be. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so, right? I mean, because you get stuck in the theory, and then you're not actually living your life, right? And that's kind of the thing, right? I mean, at some point you want to live your life, right? I mean, I knew a dude in undergrad who was like a genius at studying protein folding in its tertiary structure. Like he could study these proteins like no one else. Like he had this gift for it, right? And he would just like sit there and like study like protein folding, right? And like that's all he did. And like I don't know, I don't even think he enjoyed doing it, because like it was like took him out of life at like brought him like into a place where he wasn't even like, living life anymore. He was just studying this thing and he didn't even enjoy doing it, but he was so fucking good at it. And it's like, that makes me wonder, like, if you get lost in like in theory or lost in thought about, a given thing, like, I mean, at some point you gotta step out of that. I mean, I don't know, but that's just me though, right? There's some people like I'm a chess player, right? I teach chess for a living and I play competitively, and I know a lot of chess players that just spend their whole life studying the game. They're like, I love this, I love every ounce of my being loves this game, and they're just like they're devoted. And they're like just reading chess books and like analyzing games and playing chess, like 16 hours out of the day, right? And they're all into it and they love that shit, and that gives them joy and purpose. I don't know. I kind of feel like a more well-rounded approach though is better. At least that's my opinion though. Christine the Bean, you say, what happened, Agni? Oh no, I was just looking for Wittgenstein's uncertainty, and like it's not where it should be. That always bothers me when I have like when there's a place for something, right? When there's a place for like a book, or like back in the day when I was like buying DVDs, I had my DVD collection in like perfect order and a place for the DVD. Or like nowadays, like if I have something organized on my computer, right? If I have like all my media on my computer, like I was looking for a song the other day and I couldn't even fucking find it on my computer. I was like, dude, I know this song is here. I know the album should be here. Like, where's the album? And I'm like searching all over and it's like not there. And I'm trying every search mechanism possible to find this fucking thing, and it's just gone. It's like, where the fuck did it go? Did someone like go on my music collection and like just delete this one fucking Stolen Babies album? Like, what the fuck's going on here? And it always just bothers me. Yeah, right. Maybe my cat moved in. Aristotle, I'm sure you know Parmenides. I don't know if I ever told you. My cat's name is Parmenides, and she's a really good cat. She's my philosopher cat, and we sit around and we basically say like talk about like what exists and what doesn't exist. It doesn't exist all day. That's just what we do. And if you do that, you end up like me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. Should we just jump into meditation? I mean, I'm pretty fucking high intensity. I'm kind of all over the place. I want to talk a little bit more. I feel like if I don't get out a little bit more energy, then it's things could go ugly really quick. Oh, one of my favorite bands, Aristotle. You might have heard of them. Do you know Maudlin of the Well? You might have heard. They came out of Boston. It's Toby Driver's band. Now Toby Driver's got a band called KO Dot, KAYO space DOT. And they came out with a new album just recently, and it actually is with all the original members of Maudlin of the Well. Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, Maudlin hasn't made an album in a long time. But like KO Dot's been making music, and now he came out with a new album with all the members from Maudlin, and it's fucking awesome. Like Toby Driver, really, he makes music that's just so different and so unique, and it's I don't know how the fuck you classify it. It's some form of metal. It's just some form of avant-garde metal, and it's just like nothing I've ever heard. And that's what I want out of life. I love those people that actually can come up with a new idea. I mean, people have been saying that there's nothing new under the sun, but I think that's bullshit. Because you hear it in music. You hear it. You hear like a new idea arise, and every once in a while it happens in science and it happens in philosophy. There's like a new idea somewhere along the lines. And it's like you might have to look back, hundreds of years sometimes, but there's every once in a while someone can come up with a new idea. And that's what I live for. I love that novel, those novel introduction of interesting notions, right? Hey, Rocco Hemda's here, my brother who I've known since he was 5 years old. We're not actually related, but he lived down the block from me, and we've been friends a long time. And it's pretty cool that he's still here hanging out, man. Good to see you, brother. How are you doing today? He's got chickens in his back. Actually, it's pretty cold right now. Did you move your chickens inside, man? He's got like 5 chickens in his backyard now, and like I don't know, it's literally 36 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know if chickens can handle that shit, right? What'd you do with your chickens, Rocco Hemda? I'm concerned about your chickens, man. Let's see. Aristotle, you said you ate a McRib out of a goth girl's asshole doing Fortnite dance. Ain't no way King Solomon did. Yeah, right? Exactly. That's perfect, right? Totally fucking original, right? No one's done that shit. That's like, there's always something new. There's always something new that can be done, right? And I'm not saying just do something, original just for the sake of doing something original. I'm saying do something original because it's interesting, something, come up with a new idea, and I've been trying to come up with new ideas my whole life, and here's the funny thing, Aristotle, yeah, I know you're just kidding about that, but here's the thing, and like you might have had this too, like at some point in my life when I was younger, I would like come up with this amazing idea, right, and then like I would go and study it, and then I'd be, oh well, someone else came up with this idea, right? And then like I had like all these new ideas, and I thought I was like gonna come forth and like bring these ideas to the world, and then I find other people had already come up with that, And I remember with philosophy, when I got to grad school, I was like, I had some amazing ideas, and then I was like, oh well, okay, well, Plato thought of this, 2,000 years ago, okay. And then I had another idea, and like someone else had thought about it, and then another idea, and then like I had this other idea, and like Scanlon had come out with it, like I don't remember, like a few years prior to that. I was like, dude, all my fucking ideas are just nothing but shit that other people have come up with, like where are my real ideas, like where are they? It's like we think we're coming up with original shit, but it's like, are we really? And then a lot of times it's like, okay, well, so you just take someone else's idea and you like make like a slight alteration to it, right? And it's like, oh, you narrow your scope. That's kind of like what I was like. I basically succumbed to doing in grad school. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to narrow my scope and like create a novel objection to this guy's argument, or something along those lines, and it's like it's just not as satisfying. It's not as satisfying as actually being the one to actually come up with that groundbreaking idea, the one that everyone wants to like object to, or people like it and come up with stuff in support of it. I mean, that's kind of way more rewarding and satisfying. Rokohemdo, how about your chickens, man? I want to know about your chickens. Are they dead? Like, did you move them? I mean, can they stay out in the chicken coop? Like, it's got to be fucking cold in there, man. It's 36 degrees right now, brother. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore in this world. I'm just kind of like trying to hang in there. That's like my fucking number one thing that I'm good at doing. I'm good at holding my ground. No matter how fucking shitty the world gets, no matter how asinine and absurd everything gets. I mean, even if this whole fucking universe just breaks down into the most utmost absurdity possible, I'm gonna still fucking be here doing exactly what I'm doing. And I think that's my part in the absurd. I can fucking hold my ground regardless of anything, and like even if the whole world is like punching me in the face. But then the question is, can I push forward? And it's a lot harder for me to push forward. But I can definitely hold my ground. You're the turd that doesn't flush. Yeah, right. I mean, but you know what? There's something to be said for that, right? I mean, whether it's the angle that you exist within the toilet bowl, or whether it's your size and shape. I mean, something about you keeps you from getting flushed down the drain, right? And that's important, right? We need people like that. We need people that hold their ground. I mean, when the whole world is falling over and is chaotic and is crazy, it's like you need someone who can just fucking stand their ground and be like, look, no, here's what's fucking actually fact. There are certain things that are actually fact, and there are certain actions that are probably better to do than other actions. So we're not going to let this whole goddamn universe just melt into some kind of weird subjective pool of mesh, and like we're just fucking murder everyone else, right? Like fuck that. Like we need like, I like the logicians. The logicians seem to like be able to fucking hold their ground in the face of all chaos, man. They're like, well, wait a minute, hold on, and then they'll like be like, the necessary and sufficient conditions for X are such that, and they're, hey, look at whoa, Subi Blue, holy shit, man, thank you, brother, super nice, super kind. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's get big shout out to Subi Blue, man. 5 subs. Super kind of you, brother. Thank you. Subi Blue is a friend and a streamer on Twitch, and he streams a lot of Friday nights. I was in his stream the other day when he was playing a racing game as well. He does Jackbox party games and things like that. Just a super nice guy. He's in the fitness and health community. He's a friends with Grace Yoga. His partner in crime is Moon Hanu, and she also streams yoga on Twitch. And he's just an amazing human being. Thank you so much. Super nice for the 5 gifted subs. I definitely I don't know. Didn't even know if I was going to stream today, but I figured I'll jump in and like I really appreciate it, man. But yeah, let me give you a shout out. I don't know. Oh yeah, it already shouted you out. Yeah, there it is. Subi Blue. Okay, I had my automatic shout outs on. And thank you again. And speaking of excellent streamers here on Twitch, Yogohana's here. Hey Yoga Hana, what is up, brother? Tony is a streamer here in the fitness and health community. He streams yoga, as you might not be surprised about, right? And he is a phenomenal yoga streamer. Definitely check him out. Check out his stream. Drop him a follow. Super nice guy. And it's just I love the fitness and health community because it just seems like way less toxic than a lot of the other categories out there. I mean, the arts and music are pretty fucking good too, but we need more positivity on Twitch. We gotta battle this the toxicity that is ingrained in the Twitch world, and like we're doing that. Like we got all the yoga streamers out now. We got meditation streamers. We got philosophers. We got artists and musicians. It's really turned into a phenomenal place. I mean, the old knock back in the day was that Twitch was just a fucking toxic cesspool, but it's not so much anymore. There's people out there that are producing content that is consists of more than just the streamer screaming at the chat. Now, not to say it's not funny every once in a while, like going in a stream like that, and it's like not entertaining. But at the same time, there are some days where you don't want to get to have someone screaming at you the entire time, right? There's some days where you just want to exist in a world where the whole world, where people are not making disparaging comments constantly in your direction. All right, and one sluggy just popped in. Awesome. Hello, brother. How are you doing, man? How's existence? How's life with you? I hope all is going well with you. Hope you're enjoying life, reality, the universe, everything. I hope just everything's going well with you, man. I don't know. Let's see what else. Aristotle, you said the toxic stuff really gets grating. Yeah, it does, man. It does, and it's funny because initially it's like, oh, this is funny and cool, and when I first saw it, and then it's like, no, this isn't funny and cool. This is and it's funny because the streamer a lot of times thinks he's being a big man, right? A big man because he's gonna yell at people, take out his rage from whatever game he's losing at, and yell at the people in the chat, for asking innocent questions or whatever. But then at the same time, it's the most sad for the streamer, even though they're making money sometimes just by yelling at the people in the chat. It's pretty sad. It's like if that's your job is to put other people down to try to make yourself feel better about not being competent at a given game. I mean, I don't know. I don't fucking know about that kind of existence. I will say though that there is a streamer that I like. He's a StarCraft streamer that I watch, and he's got a lot of hostility and negativity, and it's pretty disgusting. But I love the game StarCraft. I've been a big StarCraft Brood War fan for many years, and he's the top StarCraft streamer, so I do check him out. But sometimes I'll tell him, I'll be like, dude, just so you know, even though you're screaming at everyone, I want you to know I love you unconditionally. And it's kind of interesting. He doesn't really know what to say when I start saying stuff like that. He's not gonna ban me for loving him unconditionally, but he's kind of and I'll be like, dude, hey, I'll inject positivity into the stream. And then it kind of creates this weird dynamic because he's all about being negative and I'm all about being positive. But I kind of like it. It's kind of cool to go into a world where everyone's exists to yell at each other and just to bring love and joy into the existence. Let's see, JT, you say loving the energy here tonight. Well, you're my channel shaman. You're the one that helped me with the energy. JT Farms sent me this beautiful fire quartz in the mail just recently, actually. And I've been holding this during the meditations. I've been holding it in my right hand and then my left hand. I'll just kind of switch hands during the meditations, and it's definitely been centering and been helping me, and it keeps the energy good. I feel like it does something for the energy. So thank you again so much, Joy. That was super kind to you. I mean, I'm not that big into crystals and gems and all that, but most of my knowledge, I was saying that it comes from Diablo 2. I know about the gems in Diablo 2. About the sapphire giving you cold resistance and stuff like that, right? But I don't know much about real life gems and crystals. All right, where are we at here? One saw you say you're doing good. Hope all is well with you. Yeah. I mean, things are well. My energy's kind of ridiculous tonight, but it is a lot of times when I stream on here. A lot of times I come out here and I'm just really high intensity because I mean I'm living alone with a cat for one. If you just live alone with a cat, it kind of gets ridiculous after a while, right? What kind of conversation can you have with the cat? Will be like, hey cat, how's it going? She'll be like, meow. And it's hey, you want some food? Meow. And it's okay, well, I mean, and I even named her after a fucking philosopher. After Parmenides, my favorite philosopher. He was a pre-Socratic in the He's in Elia, and his student was Zeno, and Zeno's paradoxes, yada yada. You guys have probably heard me say this a million times. But anyways, yeah, and I kind of figured she would start having some philosophical dialogues with me, and we could like really engage with some like deep philosophical questions. But she mostly just wants to like stick her tail in my face when I'm doing yoga, and it's like, dude. Like, what kind of philosopher? So then I started thinking maybe that's like her form of philosophy. uh, let's see. One second you say, but cats are cool. Cats are fucking awesome. I mean, I love cats. There's a reason I have her as my cat. Like, all jokes aside, she is an incredible cat. She's tied for number one with the best cat I've ever had. Best cat I ever had, was her, and then my other cat Patches that I had when I was like, age 5 to like age like, I don't know, like 14 or something. Those two cats are fucking incredible. They're just super nice, super loving. Any cat that's just gonna like, jump up on your lap and be a lap cat, but also be like athletic and like, run after toys and stuff and play with you and like, all that stuff is, it's like a good cat, and she's not vicious. She's good because she'll never like come up to me and just like, claw my eyeball. I don't like if a cat's gonna go for the eyes like that. That's where I draw the line. If a cat goes for your eyes, it's just not like a nice fucking cat. Like, dude, don't go for the eyes. I mean, I had a cat where her favorite thing was to go in the sock drawer. So I'd let her go in my sock drawer, and then my buddy and then she loved tearing at my flesh. That was like, she just couldn't. It was literally was the only thing in the existence that made her happy, was to tear at people's flesh, at human flesh. So what I would do is I would stick my hand in the sock drawer, and then she would bite my arm like here. And then she'd go like this really fast, like with her back claws. She had razor sharp back claws. And I would let her just tear apart my arm and my hand until it got too painful, and then I'd bring it out. So my friend and I and then she would be purring like crazy. She would do that, and she would just start purring like more than I've ever heard a cat purr, right? So my friend and I would do that. We'd see like who could stick their hand in there the longest while she tore our flesh apart, right? So like, he put it in there, and he'd be like, oh, I mean, I'd pull it out after like 2 or 3 seconds, and then I would have to beat it and be like 4 or 5 seconds. And at the end of the day, I would always win, but I have some, you can't really see it here, but I had some permanent scars. You can see it in the light. I have some permanent scars on my hand from her just ripping apart at my flesh. But it gave her such satisfaction. Like, she was purring so fucking loud for like, I'd say 45 minutes after. It was crazy. My whole sock drawer was like, and the dresser was just like vibrating with her purring. My buddy and I were laughing, but I just kept bleeding, through my palm. It was not through my palm, but through the top of the hand. It was wild, And so it's like, that was, I don't know, that was not a nice cat, but she loved me in her own way, right? She was kind of mean. But the cat I have now, she never even like swipes at me. She's just like a super nice cat. She just wants to be pet and just, sit on my lap and just kind of chill with me. All right, where are we at here now? JT Farms, you say she's love eternal. Glad she's doing something. Yeah, right. Parmenides is incredible. She's a really nice cat. She even tolerates me picking her up, which is cool. A lot of cats don't like to pick up, but I make a point of, like holding her. She's usually cool for like, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. I can just hold her and pet her, and she's like happy about it. She's a good cat. Pets love with expectations, except for expecting to be fed. Yep. I mean, and I baby her. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to. I mean, most people don't, but I literally take the cat food out of the can every morning. I take half of it out and I put it on a plate, so it's easier for her to eat. I break it up and put it on a plate, and I put the other half of the can in the fridge, and then I take the other half out later in the day and put it out on the plate. And then, I also give her dry food every day too. So it's like I baby her, I change her litter, once or twice a day. I mean, she gets everything she needs. She gets attention. She gets all the good stuff, right? Let's see, where are we at here now? All right. One second, you say, are cats a pain to take care of? I mean, it depends how many you have. Like one of my aunts used to have like, I think 10 cats, and that's a lot of work, man. Can you imagine having 10 cats? That's a lot of fucking responsibility. Imagine the litter, like, I don't know how many litter boxes she had, but like, imagine changing all those litter boxes and like, like feeding all those cats. Like, I feel like that could put you out of house and home. But, if you just got one cat, I mean, basically here's what it comes down to. You feed the cat like a couple times a day. You change the litter box, minimum once a day, right? You got to give the cat attention, right? You got to like play with the cat and give the cat some attention. So it's not like it's not nearly as much as a dog. You know, if you have a dog, you got to be all in. You got to be like, all right, you know, it's I don't care that it's like 6 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm fucking taking this thing for a walk, for like a mile, and like I'm gonna like put some clothes on it, even if it's like a small dog and shit. I'm gonna like take this thing out there every fucking day for multiple times. You know, dogs are a lot of work. Cats are like good for people that just want some company. Want like a cool loving animal around them. And don't want to do a shit ton of work, right? I mean, dogs can be awesome. Dogs are awesome in their own way, but cats are also awesome in their own way. So it depends, right? All right, where are we at here? Let's see. One select or JT, you say not really. Give them a litter box in the whole house, and yeah, right. Cats, yeah, give them a litter box, give them some food, and let them run around. Cats like to jump too, so give them some places for them to jump. Give them something they can scratch. I have some chairs that I like give my cat, and I allow her to scratch them. She loves. They're like kind of like scratching posts, but my cat won't scratch a scratching post. So I give her a couple chairs, and she just goes to town like ripping these things apart. And I don't give a fuck about these chairs. They're like old office chairs that my buddy gave me from the job he used to have. So like I just let her tear those apart, and she's good. Let's see, Christine the Bean. You say that's intense. Yeah, I don't know if you're referring to like the cat that used to tear at my flesh or what, but yeah, I mean, sometimes if a cat wants to tear at your flesh, you let the cat tear at your flesh, right? I mean, what else do you got going on in life, right? All right, let's see. We got some autocorrect deals going on. All right, okay. Well, at this point, maybe we should do some meditation. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I haven't done enough philosophy. Aristotle, man. Yeah, it's like you're like so into philosophy these days. I mean, I sometimes have streams where I talk a lot about philosophy, and sometimes I don't. Like, I don't know. I mean, I could sit here and like we could go over the mind body problem or. Go over like the hard and soft problems of consciousness. By the way, I met David Chalmers a while back. I don't know if I ever told you that, Aristotle. He's a cool dude. Chalmers is a cool guy, dude. I got to see him lecture over at a Fermilab. It's pretty close to where I live. I live outside of Chicago, so he came to Fermilab and was lecturing. It was interesting. It was with a bunch of physicists. He brought philosophy. So he has he had some philosophical theory that he was promoting, and it had physics. A large component of it was physics in nature, and he had the balls to go to Fermilab, which has some of the top physicists from around the world, and actually like be like, hey, like tell me if my physics is on point, right? So he presented it at physics. He presented his philosophy at Fermilab, and basically had a bunch of physicists chiming in on whether his physics was accurate, right? It was really cool. It was pretty neat to see. Let's see. Yeah. Fermilab's is a place with a big fucking accelerator, right? It's a cool place, and they actually it's amazing how many of those physicists are actually into philosophy. Like they have a philosophy group, but that basically consists with a bunch of physicists from Fermilab and then some people from the community, like me. I'm philosopher. Danny John, who comes to this chat, she's got a PhD in psychology and is also huge into philosophy. So she actually got me into that group. I was there, and they bring in some big name speakers. They were able to get David Chalmers in, right? They were able to get some. They're able to Fermilab can draw a crowd. That's like a prestigious research institute, right? And they haven't ever since COVID hit. Like all those groups have like shut down. It's been really disappointing. Even my chess clubs in the area have like shut down. I'm just waiting for things to open back up. I don't know if they ever will though. I mean, it's kind of crazy, like people are just like, well, fuck going to chess club. We'll just play online. But it's not the same. There's something like those of you who don't know, chess clubs are pretty fucking badass. You go there, there's like people that have been playing their whole fucking lives, and there's like, in my chess club, there are masters, that would play there, and we would be able to get some grandmasters every now and then. And then one of the best chess players in the world, this guy Nigel Short, he actually showed up at my chess club every year. He would just like show up and like fucking, he had some connections there, and people would talk to him, and it was just pretty amazing, right? I mean, to get like one of the best chess players in the world to like hang out with you, like, and talk chess and whatnot. It was actually funny. He got in some trouble today for some shit that he was posting on on Twitter, or some tweet that he made today. He said something like, he basically made a disparaging comment against it was pretty much, he didn't say it wasn't explicitly stated, but it was implied towards some of the main Twitch streamers out there, the main chess Twitch streamers. This guy like Hikaru Nakamura, who like streams. He's like the top chess streamer, and I watch him all the time. He's a great streamer. But like, now he's basically streaming full time and not playing as much, right? So Nigel Short tweeted something like, Yeah, it's there's a lot of interesting new chess players out there. It's amazing. I'm I really love watching these guys. They're kind of like taking over for the chess players that couldn't make it, that couldn't cut it, and are now like streaming full time and have kind of faded off into oblivion. But it's good because we need chess streamers. That's what he said. He said something. He said something like that, and like all the whole chess world is kind of in an uproar. It's funny how like one chess GM, one chess grandmaster like tweets something and like all the chess players fucking go crazy. It's like chess players. I don't know Aristotle if you or if anyone knows many chess players, like high level chess players, but they're a very eccentric bunch of dudes and women. But I say dudes because like it's just one of those things. The vast majority of high level chess players are men. In fact, out of the top 20 chess players in the world, every single one of them is men. So it's just kind of one of the sad facts of reality. For some reason, chess doesn't draw enough women into its field. But anyways, yeah, he's like chess players are fucking weird. Like in fact, Hikaru was saying this too. He's like, you got to be kind of crazy to be like a super GM, to be like one of the best chess players. Like you gotta really fucking be out of your mind a little bit, to be that intense with it and that focused, that where you can sit there and like study like openings and opening theory and like endgame positions and tactics and positional play like 16 hours a day for your whole life. I mean, it's kind of a weird group, right? I don't know. I mean, I've never, there was a point in my life where I was thinking of like trying to go, the route of becoming a grandmaster. The problem is I got a really late start. Now you might think, okay, I didn't learn how to play till I was 16 years old. So when I was 16, my friend's uncle taught me how to play. And then by the time I was 17, I was the top board in my high school and I took us to state. The problem is, all the best chess players in the world, learned how to play like when they were like, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, or maybe 7. Like, and then your brain develops in such a way that like your neural pathways are just perfectly constructed for chess, right? You're ready to go, and your mind just develops like with this like chess. You develop this chess mind. I didn't learn how to play till I was 16, so I have like certain limitations in my chess ability. And while I put in a lot of time and I've become pretty damn good, and I have beaten masters in my life, I'm never going to be able to fucking be one of the top 20 players, or even the top 100 players in the world. Like, even if I devoted the rest of my life to it, it just wouldn't happen. That doesn't mean I can't be really good and still fucking beat a lot of people. I mean, the highest I ever got was to the 99.8th percentile. But then that was on chess.com of all the chess players out there. That's the biggest chess website. But like, I'm never going to be able to get to the 99th percentile. It's funny, like 99.9th, like, or 99.1 even. Like, I'm not even going to be able to get there. Like, maybe if I put all my heart and soul into it, maybe I could get to like 99.0, or maybe if 99.1. But like, not much higher than that. It's just not going to happen. Let's see, Aristotle, you say, yeah, chess beef, yeah, right. I mean, it's a weird crew, man. It's a very weird crew. Those of you who have never who want to experience it, just go to a local chess club, like in your area, and just kind of like see the way these people act, and it's kind of interesting. Like, I mean, you'll see a lot of drama. Like, I've seen people just fucking like wig out and like flip tables, throw chairs. I mean, I've seen people lose their shit. It's always like weird things. It's always like weird shit that makes people lose. I saw a dude break down crying because this was like an 80-year-old dude. His name was Vlad. He was where was he from? Some Eastern European country. And he was hanging out at the chess club. He was playing in a tournament, and like he lost his game, which is no big deal. It happens all the time, right? It's not like he tried to lose. And after the game, like he was talking with the guy that runs the team, and he just went up to him, and he just basically, he almost like fell to his knees crying, and he was like apologizing to the guy so much for letting him down on like board 5 of the chess club. It's like, dude, you're like 80 years old, and like we know you played your best, man. It's not a big deal. Like, relax. And he was like crying, and it's like what's going on here? It wasn't, the game wasn't even, the whole tournament wasn't even for money or anything. It's like, what, it's like, dude, get your shit together, Vlad. It's not the end of the world, man. You're 80. There's other things going on in life, right? All right, where are we at here? Aristotle, you say you feel like it's not a game. Yeah, it's like it turns into like this fucking madness where like people they're just so focused in on like memorizing these. It's not a game. It loses all that game feel. I mean, and then you can't even play casual. Like, here's the thing. Like, when I play, It's like when I play in USCF sponsored events, United States Chess Federation events. It's like all of a sudden it gets like way more serious, and like all of a sudden I start like really caring about my rating and caring about points and like caring where I'm placing, and I'm like super intense about it. But when I play like on chess.com, it's like whatever. It's like I'm more about like trying to come up with a position that's interesting, trying to create an interesting game, and creating like a piece of artwork on the board, as opposed to like like definitely going through the same pattern that I know is going to lead to a kill every single time. And that's just how I am though. It's there's some people that are much more serious even on chess.com, but it's weird. Like when there's money in the line, all of a sudden like the game like turns into something else. It's kind of like this weird ego battle or some shit. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Aristotle, you say it's like music or Greek. The kids who start earlier just exactly right. If you start like I've taught 4-year-olds how to play. That's about as early as I can teach how to play. I've taught 4-year-olds how to play, and some of those kids have gotten really good and really good really quick. But if you wait till you're like 16, 17, 20, 22 to start playing, I mean, I hate to say it, but you're never going to be a grandmaster. It's just the way the way it is. I mean, and you know what? Because you start slowing down too. That's the other thing. Like hyper bullet games have 30 seconds or less on your clock. And if you look at the best hyper bullet players, they're all fucking young. They're like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. With a few exceptions, but for the most part, they're like these young kids. Because like after like 20, 20, 25, 30, you start like you can't play hyper bullet anymore, and you start even having a hard time with bullet after like 35, which is like 1-minute games. You only have 60 seconds on your clock, right? And it's like all of a sudden you start having a hard time with that shit. And it's just the way it is. It's weird. I mean, that's not to say that chess players can still get better, when they get older in life, but they're not going to get quicker, I guess is the point that I'm trying to make. I got to drink some water. Holy shit, I got to drink some water. Let's see. Aristotle, you say Vlad could be hitting on all the gilfs at the Luby's cafeteria. Don't unalive yourself over chess, Vlad. Yeah, right. Yeah, that is true. He could be. There's a lot of shit Vlad could do, but this guy's gotten into it. He's gotten into it with a lot of people over the years. He's like, but here's the thing. I love the guy because he's like a super emotional, passionate guy, and he's like no one else I've ever met. Like he'll do stuff like he'll make some situations incredibly uncomfortable too, which is kind of interesting. I have to admit, like he once did this thing. He really likes me. First of all, for some reason, the guy just loves me. Every time he walks into the club, if he sees me, he'll just like a big smile will just come on his face, and he'll just walk immediately over to me, no matter like what I'm doing. I'll be in the middle of like the most intense game. He'll just walk right up to me and start talking, right? But and one time he got into it a little bit with this guy that he was playing, and then like, but it wasn't too bad. But then like he sat down and played me in a game. And like we're sitting pretty close to the guy. He's just like 2 boards over, the guy that he had gotten the altercation with. And I'm playing Vlad, and Vlad just like, see that guy? See that guy right over there with the glasses? I don't like that guy. And he's saying it is like loud. He's literally like not loud enough just so that guy can hear, but he's saying it so everyone in the fucking room can hear. And like picture a stone cold room. Like the whole room is dead silence. Like no one's saying anything. And then Vlad is just like pretty loudly saying, I don't like that guy. That guy with the glasses. And then he starts to explain why he doesn't like the guy. And the guy was like focusing on this intense position, and the guy just kind of looks up and turns to Vlad, and Vlad is just like, he's just got this deadpan like stare at the guy. He's like, that guy right there, he doesn't use the clock right. And he hits the buttons too hard. And the guy didn't want to respond. The guy's like trying to focus on his game. He's playing. He's got to hit his clock, right? And Vlad's just like talking. The whole room is just silent. And Vlad's just like, he has bad manners. He has very bad manners. And like, I'm not saying anything. No one's saying anything. Even the dude didn't say anything. It's just like he does this kind of shit though all the time. He's really intense about this shit, Like, I mean, people don't typically do that shit. It's definitely interesting when someone does. Yeah, JT, and Aristotle is kind of funny, right? It's kind of funny when someone just like completely disregards social norms and social etiquette and just fucking like acts like kind of like a real human being, right? I mean, that's kind of how people would live if there were no like, social rules and conventions, right? People would just be like, you know what, this guy right here kind of sucks. Like, fuck this guy, right? But then the guy, if there were no social rules and conventions, that guy might be like, you know what, this guy right here, I'm gonna jack him in the face, right? And then, and then shit would just turn into that, right? But then maybe the guy that was originally going to say that wouldn't say that in the future. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, there are some natural consequences can be a really good thing. Natural consequences can be great, right? I used to teach. I used to teach special ed. I used to teach special needs kids, and I would teach on the BD side, which is behavioral disability, and then the LD side as well, right? So on the BD side, there was this one kid that was always just fucking acting out, right? And I remember one time, he was like in a really ridiculous state, right? And I'm like Terrence, dude, sit down in your chair. Sit down in your chair, Terrence. You've been out of your chair wandering around. Like you need to get back in your chair. And he just looks at me and he just starts fucking dancing, right? He just starts dancing, right? And he's like, look at me, I'm in my chair. Look at, and he just starts, it's like ridiculous, right? He starts doing this dance. And then right on cue, he just fucking wipes out. His feet just slip out. He slips on something and just fucking wipes out on his back. And it was like the perfect natural consequence, right? And the whole room was just like fucking like loving like what had happened because he was like disrupting everything. People were like getting pissed. He was like scaring other kids. And then he just fucking naturally like wiped out on his back. It was perfect, right? Natural consequences are the best form of consequences because it's like you don't even need to do anything. You just watch them happen, and then he was embarrassed as fuck, and then he got red in the face, and then he did just sit down. And he was pretty quiet the rest of the day. It was one of the few times that guy like actually went quiet. Let's see. You say lots of philosophers deserve to be punched. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about philosophers. They're, as humble as the philosophical genre actually is. I mean, there's a lot of philosophers that have some big fucking egos, right, and are pretty fucking ridiculous and pretty snarky and pretty just kind of fucking assholish, right? And there are some philosophers that they think they're the shit, right? And they think they're like so amazing and whatnot. They think their theory is like their ideas beyond like criticism or whatnot, and they'll just make up shit to support their theory when it's obviously not even that good of an idea. And yeah, sometimes they do deserve to be punched in the gut, right? But that's not the way that shit typically works in the philosophical world, right? I mean, I've never seen two people like actually get into a fist fight in a philosophical debate before, but sometimes it kind of needs to happen, right? All right, let me take a sip of water, then we should start some meditation. I've been rambling on for 50 minutes. We've been having a good discussion. That's nothing. I need to not be. Sometimes I get down on myself if I'm like talking a lot and engaging with chat. But it's like that's actually what a lot of the fun is about, right? To have good communication. I kind of view myself. I've been viewing myself lately more as solely as like a meditation streamer. But that's not who I am. I do a lot of different things. So I gotta be more fucking tolerant of myself and that kind of stuff. All right. So the intensity has been high. And now we're going to slow things down. We're going to relax our bodies and our minds. And we're going to go inward. We're going to travel to the inner place of our being, where stillness reigns supreme. So find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in a lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged, or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a seated position that is comfortable for you. And gently close your eyes. and take a few deep breaths on your own. I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that dings every 2 seconds, and you can use that to help regulate your breath count. Take a few more slow, deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath count. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your awareness on your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Sorry about that. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. Stay focused on your breath. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath counts. Visualize yourself sitting on a mountaintop. Watching the clouds move through the sky beneath you. Two clouds merge into one. And one cloud separates into two. You watch the clouds move through the sky and disappear over the horizon. Those clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist in conscious awareness for a while, and then disappear from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. You are not your thoughts. Your foundational essence lies beneath the level of conscious awareness. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. Keep your awareness on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Returning your awareness to your breath count. Your essence is love. The manifestation of love is light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. Awakening the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. until all of humanity is glowing radiantly in oneness once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eyesight. Keep your awareness on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Return your awareness to your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Be mindful of your breath count. perfect love. Divine light is the manifestation of your perfect love. You shine your light everywhere and in all directions. Awakening the inner light in all whom you encounter. Those who you encounter then go off and shine their light on others. Until all of humanity is glowing radiantly as one. That is your function. Be the light. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye sight. Keep your awareness on your breath. As thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Returning your awareness to your perfect breath count. On your next inhale, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the love that emanates from this location. Feel the warmth that surrounds your love. Feel the perfect monism of this experience. Allow yourself to embrace the perfect peace that resides there. Feel the joy that bubbles up from your heart chakra. For in this place, you are home once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that does not serve you well. Keep your awareness on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Returning your awareness to your breath count. On your next breath, travel deeper down into your love. Search for the center point of your love. Feel the divine vibration that radiates from that center. Feel the perfect oneness that emanates from that location. Focus on your center point. And when you're ready, go on through. I'll meet you on the other side. At your center point, you feel only perfect oneness. At your center point, you come to remember who you are. Fear can never enter your center. For fear is based on separation. And your center point being oneness. Is incompatible with two-ness. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego, which obscures your third eye sight. Focus on the divine love within your center. Take the deepest breath of the day. And as you exhale, release all that is of no benefit. And take a deeper inhale. Releasing all stress and tension from your body. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your mind. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here with me in this sacred space. I am honored and humbled to be here as your meditation guide, and I love each one of you unconditionally. I hope you all feel a little more peaceful than you did prior to the meditation and have a little bit more joy in your lives. Thank you so much. All right. How was that for everyone? Wow, right on cue. Another 45-minute meditation. I think, at 44 minutes yesterday. Oh, my legs are about ready to cramp. It's always kind of interesting when my legs feel like they're about ready to cramp. Swiss R is here. What is up, brother? How is it going? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I don't know what's going on. I think that hot hit Pilates class that I did tonight kicked my ass. I'm feeling all dehydrated and parched and just struggling to maintain, man. Big shout out to Swiss R, phenomenal streamer here on Twitch. Knows everyone in the fitness and health community. Super nice guy, super kind, authentic dude. Go check him out. Drop him a follow. He does amazing travel scenes in Switzerland. Definitely check out what he's got to offer. All right, Christine the Bean, excellent. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you were here with me to share in this amazing place. Oh, my neck. I think I need a massage. That's where I'm at right now. Let's see. So 10 minutes ago was NASA's DART mission launch. double asteroid redirection test. Really? Cool. That's pretty awesome. Nice. All right. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. I'll have to check out some footage on that later. Oh, thank you so much, One Sluggy. Thank you so much for being here, man. I totally appreciate you, and I appreciate your company and your presence. It's always a pleasure to have you in chat. Okay, where are we at here? I think that's it. I think that's where we're at. I don't know. I missed some stuff in chat, but I think it was from before the meditation. So that's kind of where we're at. So let's see who's available to raid. Let's see who we got. Let's see. All right, Swiss, do you have any recommendations? I mean, um, let's see. I've been raiding Imbalanced a lot, but I definitely always enjoy raiding him. Nice dude, uh, authentic guy. He's in the fitness and health community here on Twitch. Can raid him again, unless Swiss, unless you have someone that yeah, let's raid Imbalanced. Absolutely. All right, we're gonna rate it. We're gonna rate Imbalanced. So let's do that. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. We'll send some love over to his channel. And yeah, oh, he's doing tarot tonight. Cool. All right, this will be fun. All right, well, thank you all so much for being here with me. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Namaste to every one of you. Thank you so much.